You're listening to Brain Lenses. I'm Colin Wright. In philosophy, solipsism refers to the theory that we can only be certain our own minds exist, and that all other minds, other human beings for instance, could very well be convincing automatons, which in some thought experiments are referred to as philosophical or he-zombies. Solipsism manifests in a variety of ways, depending on the context in which the term is being used. We might believe, for instance, that because there is no current means of objectively explaining and identifying consciousness, there's also no concrete means of determining that anyone else is conscious. We know we are conscious because we are capable of having these sorts of thoughts. But everyone else? We might act as if we believe they are, but doubt remains. Alternatively, we might believe that reality itself is in question, and that the entirety of the material world is in fact just an illusion which our own consciousness manifests. Maybe there are other consciousnesses out there too, but there's no reason to believe, according to what's called egocentric presentism at least, that they share the same reality as us. We are possibly all enjoying or suffering our own realities, independent of each other. There are many variations on this general theme, but most solipsistic thoughts are philosophical or experimental in nature. The folks theorizing on these matters don't actually believe they live in a universe populated only by them and a bunch of automatons that pretend to be conscious. Psychological solipsism, or solipsism syndrome, in contrast, is a condition some people suffer which causes them to legitimately feel that the entirety of reality is a creation of their own mind. Thus, they are the only thing that exists, and everything beyond their thoughts is an illusion of sorts created by their own consciousness. This isn't an officially diagnosable condition in most countries, though it is similar to depersonalization, derealization disorder, which is diagnosable, and which is experienced as a detachment from one's self, with a concomitant sense of not being part of the same reality as everyone else, and in some cases, reality might seem somehow fake, dreamlike, or even visually distorted. A recent research paper attempts to formalize psychological solipsism using a newly developed self-report measure called MSOL. This measure looks at things that are often associated with psychological solipsism, including loneliness, a self-reported lack of social connection, and, interestingly, playing a lot of immersive, violent video games. This research also found a correlation, which has been found in similar studies as well, between psychological solipsism and overall aggression, which makes sense if you think in terms of other people not being real, and the possibility that in some people's minds, other human beings who stand between them and what they want are like video game NPCs, non-player characters. Hurting or killing them is not a problem, because they are not actual consciousnesses, just bots controlled by the game. This is just one possible measure of this mindset, and it is a self-report-based measure, which means it could be easily gamed by those who want to rig the outcome. And again, this isn't a diagnosable condition in the formal sense, so being able to test oneself for one's tendency towards psychological solipsism is of dubious value at the moment. That said, knowing about this concept could help us better understand some of our sociopathic-seeming peers, and might someday point toward a means of either hindering the development of this semi-psychosis or dissolving the walls between afflicted people and other human beings. I'm able to present Brain Lenses in both its written and audio formats, ad-free, because of support from listeners like you. If you're enjoying what I'm doing here, consider becoming a paid supporter for the cost of a cup of coffee each month at brainlenses.com.